Morning. Growing up, my parents always used to tell me that if I learn a second language, I will value myself more and people will value me more. And as I grew up, I noticed that they're right. Learning a second language brought me many benefits, and it could bring you a lot of benefits if you decide to take a foreign language. I know registration's coming along, and you guys probably wonder what should I take next. But I want you guys to take into consideration the possibility of taking a foreign class, because it could bring you many benefits, such as better job opportunities. It could help you understand the cultures around the world, and it could also help and expand your brain's activity. Firstly, the United States is a very diverse world. Diverse nation, excuse me. Many people migrate to the United States for many opportunities, and people from around the world want to be here. So firms want people who can speak more than just one language, because it can help them bring customers to their business. When you're able to communicate with the customer in their native language, I think they feel more at home and more comfortable with you, because you're at a personal level. I remember my friend Brianna, she used to tell me that when she used to work at Boba, she'll speak to the customers on Spanish, and that will make the customer feel happy and be like, oh, you know Spanish. And I think that makes the customer feel at home, and they will want to come back to the business. So a quote from Nicole Balkan, she's a journalist for Global Post, says that being able to speak another language is a skill. The more skills you bring to a job, the more you're likely to get paid for that job. If you have example, a Spanish skill, I think it will look good on your resume. And if a manager has to decide whenever to choose you or another person, a second language definitely looks better. So yes, because it will bring more money into the business. Moving on to my second point, learning a second language expands your brain's activity. According to the Center for Applied Linguistics, people who are bilingual tend to be more proficient at problem solving and are more creative overall. This may be due to the brain's ability to shift between one language and the other. Your brain will get used to switching from one language to another. This helps your brain accommodate to new circumstances or environments. When you're faced with a problem, people who are bilingual tend to have fast problem solving because they're used to switching from one language to another. You have to decide all happens in your brain obviously, but you decide to who you should speak on one language and to who you shouldn't. So it adds a new process into your brain. So I was reading online that people who are bilingual will tend to be better at math and stuff. Not that they're better, but they're more able to solve their problems because they're used to the problem solving on the daily basis. Another benefit of learning a new language is that your memory expands. Obviously, when you learn a new language, you have to learn grammar, structure, and all of that, and that also exercises your brain. When you learn a new language, you tend to exercise your brain and make it expand. Like I was saying in my previous point, it will help you. Not sorry. It's just like an exercise, and you want to keep your brain constantly trying new things so that when you're older you will be able to fight against dementia and such. And this also brings me to another point, that people who are bilingual tend to have less possibility of developing any type of brain diseases. A study done in the University of California, San Diego, led by a scientist named Tomar Glover, found that individuals with a higher degree of bilingualism were more resistant than others to the onset of dementia and other symptoms of Alzheimer's disease. The more you exercise your brain, the less opportunities you develop in any Alzheimer's disease. So not only does it help you here, learning better job opportunities, but it also means that learning a new language can help you in the long run when you're older. If you're exposed to more different opportunities and different events that require you to speak or to speak a different language, for other people it will be very beneficial. So another point is that even though it's ironic, my next point, but learning a second language also helps you improve your English because you have to be aware of grammar structure. Anne Barrett from the Telegraph newspaper tells us that learning a foreign language draws your focus to the mechanism of language, grammar, conjunctions, and sentence structure. This makes you more aware of language and the way it can be structured. You start paying more attention to how English is compared to other languages. I know I compare English and Spanish all the time, and it makes me more aware of how English is different than, for example, Spanish. I know English tends to have like many rules, and some rules don't apply to some words. But then when you learn a second language, the teachers will remind you of the basic English rules. And it's just, you tend to be more focused on English, but then you're also more focused on learning your different language that you're trying to learn too. So for my last point is that learning a new language is very fun. In high school, I took French, and it was exciting learning about the people, the language, the words, and then you find out that some words are similar and some words that there's not in English, so that's always fun. And learning English helps you communicate with the people of the country that you're learning to. Whenever I don't know if you guys want to travel when you get older, but when I do, I want to be able to speak the language of the people of that certain part of the world because it will help me understand the culture, and you're able to communicate with them way easier. And it's always fun because, you know, it's fun talking to someone who's not from here, and you're like, tell me about how it is over there. And if you speak to their language, it's a whole new experience. So overall, learning a new language can help you get better opportunities at job, maybe a higher pay. It can help you expand your brain's activity. It's like an exercise for your brain, and also in the long run, it will help you have less of a chance of developing any type of brain disease. And most importantly, it's fun and it's new. So next time registration comes around, maybe you guys can take into consideration taking a foreign class.
Jesus, share your thoughts, please.
I thought it was an interesting topic since I could relate to it because I do have those parents that learn Spanish. And then she relates personal experiences to the viewers, and she clearly explains her statistics and helps you understand the points. And what I found bad was that you had the hiccups here and there, but you had the paper up there and you were kind of messing around with it, and I thought it was bad because you only used it when you needed to state a quote.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it was bad because you only used it when you needed the quotes. I actually think that's pretty good, but I think that the quotes probably would have fit better on a note card, and then it wouldn't have been so obvious when you're waving the paper around, and less likely that you'd be playing with it. I think that's a little bit of a distraction. I thought the speech was really well organized. I think you could use a little bit more data in some of the points, but there's some good information there. For example, on the brain benefits that you talk about, it stays kind of generic in the information that you're presenting. You've got one specific quote about how it exercises your brain and maybe improves a variety of functions, and then everything else is kind of passively referred to instead of getting specific information about how it's beneficial. So I thought it was a little bit underdeveloped in that sense. Like I said, it is very nicely organized. The delivery is pretty solid. Your eye contact, when you're not looking at the page, you're playing with the pages, you're in pretty good shape. All right, thank you.